stressful few days. If you don't follow our Instagram and don't know what's been happening, one of our cats has had to go into the vets the last few days. Thankfully, we have him home now. I'm so happy we got him back today. But yeah, we haven't had him here for the past few days, and it's been very stressful, very hard. It's really hard having your pet be away from you. Yeah, but he's home now. Mara won't leave him alone. But yeah, that's just been, it's been a lot. It's been a lot of a lot, you know. Yeah, today has been a lot. I'm sorry if you can hear the washing machine going in the background. Yeah, it's been a lot today. Like obviously we went and got him, and it was very, very like exciting and like yay, but also it was very a lot and overwhelming, nerve-wracking. There was just a dog in the pet's place who was just like growling and howling and barking non-stop at everything. So we were just sat there like, you know, he just sat there like jittering with nerves. But yeah, we got him, and also we got taxis out there, well, a taxi out there, and usually we would tell them to leave and then we'd call another one, you know. But they suggested do like a wait and drive back drop, and so like they waited for ages, and the longer we were waiting, the more panicked we got, because it was like, how much is this gonna cost us? It ended up costing us like 30 quid almost, just for taxis. And then they were like, right, you need to get this new special food, wet food and dry food. You need to get a Feliway diffuser, you need to get new litter, you need to get this and this. More water bowls and food bowls, need to start feeding them separately, all this sort of stuff. And I was just like, So yeah, used the absolute last of our money buying everything they need, but thankfully we had enough to get the main things that we needed to get, you know, like the new food and the new the Feliway thing. So we've got those now, but like, it's like, it just racks up, you know, like 30 quid. It was like 30-40 quid taxis the other day to get him there, and then 30 quid taxi here, well, this time, and then it was like 69 or something for all of the things we needed to buy, like the food and things, and it was just like, oh my goodness. So I'm absolutely broke now, but I'd say it was worth it. I'm just praying that the power doesn't go out at any point. That's why I'm trying to wash some clothes now, because I just have a feeling it's gonna go out tomorrow. But yeah, it's nice having him home again, and yeah, yeah, it was also just like really overwhelming today on the bus. Like, this might sound like really mean, or I don't know, but I'm gonna be careful with my words here. There was a boy on the bus with his mother, and he very clearly had some form of sensory issues, like, or learning difficulties, you know. And he was screaming on the bus. Like, I don't mean just like, like literally screaming at the top of his lungs. There was babies around him crying because of how much he was screaming, and shouting and laughing, and like, yeah, like, keep your child happy, keep him content, you know. I understand that children with autism and things like that, you know, they can get overstimulated really easily and go into a meltdown really easily, But this child screaming sent every other child into a meltdown on the bus, and very almost sent me and my roommate into one. Like, it's hard, you know. I find that you see a lot of neurodivergent little boys who they just get let free to do what they want, you know. ADHD boys climbing off of each other and running up and down the walls, and then the parents are like, oh, it's just their ADHD, you know, whereas ADHD girls are quite often undiagnosed and go into themselves and quiet and all this sort of stuff, you know, and we kind of let our neurodivergent boys run wild, you know, and that was very clear here. There was a baby literally a foot away from him, you know, like he was in the disabled seats on the bus, and there was a baby and mum in the baby section. So they're literally about a foot away from each other, and he is screaming at the top of his lungs to the point where this baby is like shitting itself every 2 seconds, and then starts wailing and getting really, really upset, and the mum doesn't ever tell him to quiet down or be quiet or stop screaming or anything, you know. Like, I understand you don't want to be all like, shut up, you know, but you could be like, oh, can we be a bit quiet, look, we're making the baby upset, you know. Like, I was sat the whole bus ride like this, and then afterwards you just get off and you're just like, ugh, because it just gets into you, you know what I mean. And then every sound afterwards feels like it's coming at you like a physical attack, you know. When you see in movies when there's like those rings around sounds, that's what it feels like after that, you know. Every single sound just goes and whacks you in the face, you know. So like, we were just trying to get our stuff from Pets at Home, and then we were both getting so overwhelmed, and then like trying to find what we needed, and like trying to just walk home, and there's like people that have no personal space, and like literally like 5-year-olds crawling up your ass screaming, you know. You get to a point where you're so overwhelmed that you just your brain starts to go violent. This might be a really awful thing to say as well, like, and a car would drive past me and I just want to whack it with my cane. I'm like, shut up, why are you so loud? Like, every noise, every van, every motorbike that went past, I was just like, just gets you so like angry that things won't stop. It feels like a constant barrage of things, you know. And it all stems from one child being let to run free, in a sense that he can scream and climb and wail or whatever, or shout, or like a car beeped at the bus and he started wailing as loud as anything, and the mum didn't reassure him that it was okay. She just kind of let him go, you know, just let him be all like, ah, ah, you know. Like, it can't be comfortable for him either, you know, being in such distress and not have anything. I don't know, it just set me off for the rest of the day, I think. So now it's just a bit like, I just feel like everything's getting at me. I feel like everything's touching me, and bleh. I also think, like, I've been a bit triggered by something, and it's always really hard to talk about. You know, I shouldn't be afraid to talk about my feelings online, but when you've been so literally silenced by somebody with a cease and desist, it's hard to then talk about being triggered by said person. It's like, we have many, many bad memories and experiences with many people, and they are triggers to us, do you know what I mean? And we get triggered a lot a lot by a lot of the things that's happened. And we're constantly triggered by things, you know? But it is a really big one, you know? The way that it's affected my disorder and my healing so badly, and I can't talk about it out of fear of legal repercussions, is so bad. I can't talk about the fact that things have happened in the past. I don't know. It's just really fucking harsh. Like, we got sent something. Like, we don't check the Reddit. We don't. But, you know, some people, when we're mentioned, like to send us stuff and send us screenshots of the Reddit or a link to the Reddit or whatever, you know, like she's blocked me on TikTok. I don't ever see her TikToks or anything. But then we get sent things from the Reddit, and it's like, yeah, I really would rather not see this today. But when they mention me a lot on the Reddit, people feel like they have a duty in a way to be like, they're talking about you again because of how triggering it has been in the past. And yeah, I don't know. The thing that we were mentioned in recently on the Reddit, you know, has kind of really triggered us. I think it's brought back all of these feelings of being silenced and not being able to speak about anything, you know, like people in other drama spaces, they can be like, oh yeah, I met Shane Dawson once, you know, or oh yeah, I saw James Charles at that beauty event. I couldn't think of an example then. You know, I saw so-and-so, Jeffree Star, on the red carpet once. I met him. You know, I feel like I can't even say that. I can't even say I met her. I knew her. Because anything could be pulled and twisted into defamation or something. You know? But I think it's the fact that it is brought up, the people they brought up on the Reddit, that situation, and how some current actions that are happening are very hypocritical because of the reaction to me and my comments. And I know I fucked up. It's not me ever saying that I'm okay and that I did right or whatever, but it still just takes you right back. Certain things happen, certain things, you know, certain smells, certain feelings and thoughts and pictures, images, anything. You know, the weather, it could be absolutely anything, and it will take you right back. That's the PTSD brain for you, you know, like I smell something, I'm taken back to primary school. I look at something and I'm taken immediately back to America, you know, like it is like teleportation in some ways, and being teleported back to that stage, any of the stages throughout these 4 years now, is so hard, you know. It's just not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. None of it's fair. None of it's fair. Nothing is fair. Life's not fair. Life's a bitch. And then you die. But in other news, I've been making things. I made a hat. Yeah. I hope you like the hat. I look like it goes from like elf, like, oh, I'm a cute sprite, I'm an elf, I live in a leaf in a tree and collect little acorns, which I drink out of, to... Hello, I'm a gnome! Hello! Gnome! Romeo and Juliet. Like, if I'd done it with, like, sturdy or wool, it would be a gnome hat. I'm a gonk. Anyway. It's just hard. It's just hard to talk about things. You know, it's hard to talk about your own feelings without feeling that somebody else is going to come at you with a lawyer and be like, you're not allowed to have those feelings. But that's why we tread lightly, isn't it? That's why we place eggshells. I believe in karma, and what goes around comes around. And another thing I've been trying to remember is this too shall pass. I've heard it a lot as a phrase, but a lot of people take it as a bit of a mantra. I think I might try to, as somebody with a lot of pain, you know, trying to remember that this too shall pass is a good thing, you know. So hopefully this will also pass and everything will be okay eventually. But yeah, I made this hat and I got where is it? Oh, here. I got some left over. I got some left over, so I'm gonna try and make something else. I still got the brown from the brown, and I still got the rainbow from the rainbow. So we're gonna try and make something else with it because I like the vibe. I like the colors. Anyway, if you made it to the end, I'm gonna leave now. Hopefully not get a bunch of fucking hate. But yeah, if you made it to the end, all the way to the endsies, let me know if you got any autumn plans. It's cold and rainy here in the UK. It does not feel like summer or July, so I'm planning for autumn. I'm planning for Halloween. Let me know if you've got any autumn or Halloween spooky plans. But yeah, I will hopefully see you in another one. Bye.